It's that time of the morning that we've been telling you about since we got here at 6 o'clock. The Nedbank Cup final is coming up in just the next 2 days. 2 sleeps to go, and we will be witnessing another cup final in as far as the Nedbank Cup is concerned, and it will be happening this year out in Bloemfontein at the Free State Stadium as Chippa United faces TTM Chakuma Chamadzibandila, and these two teams are making their first appearance in a cup final. It's going to be an exciting one. It bodes well with what the Nedbank Cup really stands for throughout the years. It has been about smaller teams, with all due respect to them, making it and going on to possibly win the trophy. And we know that another one of those will be getting their hands on this beauty that is in studio here. There's a few names, but either TTM or Chippa United will be adding its name onto that list of teams that have won this trophy. But I hardly slept last night because in studio here is an absolute colossus of South African football, a childhood hero of mine who is joining us to chat about that game and a little bit more. And his name is Mtungwa, Doctor Khumalo. There he is on your screens there. Well, 397 games for Kaizer Chiefs. No player has more or has played more games for Kaizer Chiefs. He's got 50 caps for Bafana Bafana, a member of the 1996 AFCON winning team, and an all-round great in South African football. He's joined to my immediate right here by Toby Badenhorst, who is the head of sponsorships at Nedbank. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you. Doc, let me start with you.
Yes.
It's an exciting one. As I said, the two teams that nobody expected to be there, and it is what the Nedbank Cup throughout the years,
yes,
since it came into the fray in South African football, it has been about smaller teams getting the chance to get there and possibly surprise the big teams. And we saw with TTM surprising Mamelodi Sundowns to get here, and Chippa United, others fell by the wayside when they played with them along the route. But how exciting is it to have these two teams in the final?
Good morning. I think it is exciting because this actually talks to our football in South Africa, how the game has evolved. You would have expected probably to have the big teams in the final. But as usual, as a norm, Nedbank springs surprises because for the past couple of years, we've seen teams that are coming from a lower division that have surpassed our so-called big teams. Yeah. And it gives privilege to such because we're looking at teams that don't have an opportunity, or probably they envy the teams that are on top to play against. In this moment, I feel I was 16 years old. Because believe it or not, what Nedbank does for our soccer, it's unbelievable. And it's commended because I know for the fact that some of the teams that are lower division, you know, when you play against senior teams, these are the players you idolize. This is a team you wish to play for. And when I was still playing, the very same opponent would ask for a jersey. Yeah. So this is how beautiful or how good it is for Nedbank to offer such lower division teams an opportunity, not only to win the cup, but also to participate in the CAF Confederations Cup. It has happened. Who has ever thought that TS Galaxy would have gone there to represent? Free State and Stars. Also to have different teams representing. It's always talking to our corporates in terms of the game. Yeah. Not to have Sundowns, because Africa is used to Sundowns. Yeah. Orlando Pirates, Bidvest vs Kaizer Chiefs. But to see TS Galaxy participating, it was unbelievable. But now we're heading towards now another intriguing cup final, where one of the teams, newcomers, novices in the cup game, will be representing South Africa through Nedbank. This is the only cup or the only sponsor that afford such in South African football.
Doctor spoke about wishing he was 16 years old. Here's a fun fact about Dr. Khumalo. In fact, he made his debut for Kaizer Chiefs at the age of 16. That's how talented Doctor was. He was just 16 when he made his debut for Kaizer Chiefs. And guess who that debut was against? It was Orlando Pirates in a Soweto derby. You have to be a special player to make your debut in a Soweto derby at the age of 16. But let me bring you in here, Toby. It might be... It surely is a sponsor's nightmare. We can't run away from the fact that COVID has affected everything. And to not have the spectators in the stadiums, to not have the spectacle that we know Nedbank Cup or the Nedbank Cup finals have been in the past, it must be a nightmare for you guys. It takes something away, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, as the bank for all, you know, and using our financial expertise to do good for individuals, families, businesses, and society, the Nedbank Cup affords us an opportunity to extend an opportunity to teams from the lower divisions, like Doc has mentioned, you know, to really make a name for themselves. I mean, we can go back to, you know, Amatux in 2009, you know, and the way they performed. You know, when Baraka first came on the scene in 2011, beating the mighty Kaizer Chiefs back then. You know, TS Galaxy, like you've mentioned, in 2019. You know, there's so many stories, you know, that have made this cup so special. So I've got no doubt on Saturday, like Doc said, we're going to crown a new champion. The winner will walk away with a cool 7 million rand.
Oh.
The right to represent the country in the CAF Confederations Cup. Also, we're celebrating our 14th edition of the Nedbank Cup this year. And I'm proud to say of the 10 stadia that were built of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, we'll be going to the 7th stadium this weekend. It's the first time we're going to the Free State Stadium in Bloem. But yeah, I mean, it's a pity we can't have spectators in the stands. You know, obviously with the pandemic, we have to be responsible corporate citizens.
Yeah.
But we've gone all out to make sure that even with the fans watching from home, to introduce a new concept called fan mode.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage all of the viewers at home, you know, and the Nedbank Cup fans out there to visit our website, nedbankcup.co.za, and to register for fan mode. The most active fans during the game will be able to support and cheer online, and we'll be giving away some great prizes to them. So also to make them feel part of it, of the actual cup final. And we've done a deal with the broadcasters whereby we've given away 4 at-home viewing experiences.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're essentially going to cross live to these fans at their home, celebrating with the likes of Doc in their homes, you know, which is great.
Yeah. Doc, given how these two teams are playing right now, obviously you've been watching how the season has unfolded.
Yes.
They are down at the bottom in terms of the league.
Yeah.
And now here they are in a cup final. What does it do for 80? Obviously, they can still save their season mathematically.
Yeah.
They can both still survive.
Yeah.
But what does winning a cup trophy do to your confidence in a relegation dogfight?
We're looking at two teams, as you're alluding to the fact that they are bottom of the log. But if we look at it, they can benefit both in terms of avoiding relegation and a plus factor in terms of getting the 7 million and also making history, because this is for the first time they participate in the cup final. That is how Nedbank do things. And I would like to believe that the players are psyched and mentally they don't think about being in the relegation area or probably in that phase. Having participated in this weekend, all players, believe it or not, all players don't want to see their pockets growing because 7 million will only come once.
There's a share there.
Yeah, there must be 50-50 with the club, obviously. And also, this affords them an opportunity to play in Africa, which opens the can of worms in terms of being scouted by international scouts. So playing in Africa, it also enhances their capacity in terms of them growing within the game. So through that, I mean, I've played in Africa, and it has changed my character, not only as a soccer player, but as a human, because you go out there and see how other people lives are being taken care of. Some of the things that we have here, they don't have the pleasure of that in other countries.
Toby, just quickly from you, throughout the years, Nedbank Cup has also unearthed new talent in South African football. Just talk to us about that in just about 30 seconds, how you guys have managed to make sure there's, I mean, the likes of Maposa Mudiba is the one guy that comes to mind when everybody talks about the Kiona Cup and stuff like that. Just in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a number of fantastic initiatives over the years, and this year is no different. You know, together, like Doctor said, you know, the champions not only going to win all these money and the right to represent us, but also the right to hand over a 2 million multi-purpose sports court to a school of their choice within their precinct, which once again will unearth and develop talent within that area for years to come. You know, so once again, in summary, I just want to encourage all of the viewers at home to share their experiences from home of watching the final at #Nedbank Cup and #PlayYourPart, and to follow us on @NedbankSport on Facebook and Twitter over the weekend.
All right. Doc, it would be remiss of me if I do not ask you about the major announcement that was made yesterday. The new coach of the national team, Hugo Bruce, is taking South Africa forward. What's your sentiments in his appointment?
It's a difficult one, but from where I'm seated, I think he's an experienced coach. He's been around. I don't know whether will he be managed to maneuver whatever crisis we're facing, because our first game of the World Cup is in June, and that will be like climbing a Drakensberg mountain, because he has to come up with a formidable side that will represent us. South Africa is in ICU. We're bleeding because we have never disappointed our own nation the way we did. Now he has to remedy that in terms of making us proud by qualifying, because we are a nation that will always strive for a win. Personally, that have achieved so much within, it's disappointing that you build a house, then in few years it's been destroyed by merely simple things that can be taken care of. But I just want to wish him all the best of luck, and I hope he's been given all support that he deserves.
Is he the best choice, though?
I think results will tell. We don't have to judge before. Give the guy a chance in order for him to show us what he's made of. And I would have loved to see the criteria they've used to select the coach, because it's not about individuals, it's about the nation. They need to be transparent. They show us the criteria. How is the coach appointed? Because we're not going forward, we're going 10 steps backwards. Unfortunately, that's to be told, like the way it's supposed to be.
Wow. You speak of South Africa being in ICU, and clearly there's a crisis in the national team. But there's also a crisis at Naturena. A club that you played 397 games for. As I said earlier, no player has played more games for Kaizer Chiefs than you. You pledge allegiance to the Gold and Black. What is happening at Kaizer Chiefs?
Again, the unfortunate situation, I'm on the other side of the fence. But football is the teacher, and this is how we can see what is happening on the other side of the fence. But they are in a phase whereby results are not coming their way, and I would like to believe that Gavin Hunt and his technical team and the Kaizer Chiefs family will probably have a solution to this, but I know it's only 4 games to go. They're in a phase that any team can experience. I mean, we're looking at Man United. They are not the same Man United that we know. But coming back home at Naturena, yes, of course, it is a norm for Kaizer Chiefs to be on top, for Kaizer Chiefs to bring trophies, to bring smiles on the faces of the supporters, but that's not happening. So clearly there is somewhere, somehow, that they are not doing it correctly. So it has to go back to the drawing board and see what might be the problem. And I would like to believe that no one has to point a finger at any department, whether it can be players or technical team. It's collectively. So they need to sit down and find out what might be the solution for this kind of results.
Dr. Khumalo, thank you so much for your time. As I said, a childhood hero. And those of us who saw you play were privileged to have witnessed such a class act. Thank you so much for your time. He's alongside Toby Badenhorst from Nedbank, and we are looking forward to Chippa United up against Chakuma Chamadzibandela in Bloemfontein in the final of this year's Nedbank Cup. That's where we leave